It's gifts.
Welcome to No Strings Attached Street Ministry. Today we're going to do a little combination of a cook video and also the importance of friendship. So we're going to go along with the theme that's been going around YouTube, which is show me your steak. I'm sure you've probably seen a few of those videos going around. But I'm here with my buddy Warren. We're going to just cook us up a little bit of a lunch here today. And we're going to make you a steak. A couple steaks. You know, this time of year is November. It's actually a very hard time of year for a lot of people. A lot of people seem to fall in depression during Christmas time and Thanksgiving time. So you know, it's all about loneliness. You know, they just can't get past the ideal of loneliness. But you know what? The biggest thing that I can tell you about that is you're the one that has to strike up the conversation. And you do so as often as it takes. And eventually, by being kind and caring of others, you receive that and you get that back. You know, you get it back. That love will return to you. So what we need to to do is to try to help people not be so isolated. But our job as Christians as well is if we see someone struggling with this kind of behavior and attitude, it's our job to reach out to them. And if we're out on a hunt to reach out to others, and we're out there doing our job diligently, digging through the woods and those hard places to find them, you'll eventually find out that you'll be able to find them. Remember, when you're down in your darkest, deepest hour, well, God's right there to find you. So sometimes we have to be like Him. Is this one the one that goes there? Yeah, we're having a good day today. Bringing this to you. It's been a while since me and Warren's actually been able to do any cooking together. Just the way life does us. And he brings out his little slicing machine and ends up slicing the end of his finger off. So, do a little quick prayer for Warren. He's walking around like a stuck pig. So, I said it's a sacrifice of love, you could say, to bring you a meal today. And say you had a steak. Did you bring a steak?
Yep.
Yes, I told Warren that we were going to have steaks today. And he brings a big giant sirloin. I say, man, he must be hungry. Yep, that's pretty good sized steak there, dude. As soon as our pan gets up there, we'll allow that. You want some seasoning on there?
Yeah.
I don't know what I did with my salt and pepper. But I'll come in like this.
I have salt and pepper with me.
Yeah, it turned this pretty cold today, man. Just right out of the blue, it dropped down. I even come out of the in my shorts and a t-shirt, and it was still pretty chilly. And usually, I mean, I'm not too bad. The problem is the wind. Have a big front going through, so we have the wind too to go along with it. Well, you know the trick of a good steak is a real nice hot iron skillet, and black pepper, lots of it. Lots of salt. And that's the only seasoning you should ever use on a steak, in my opinion. Unless you're doing some marinade to go along with other dishes. But if you want a good quality steak, it's actually very simple. It's not hard at all, believe it or not. We're also frying up some potatoes and bell peppers and onions. Try to make them nice and tasty as well. Medium rare is a good one, especially if you got good quality steak. I have to have mine a little bit more done. Not that I like it that way, but it's easier for me to chew, especially with dentures, and especially dentures is not made well. But That's a whole lot of potatoes in there, Warren. You believe that's only 2 potatoes? That's just crazy. Of course, that one was like the size of a car. Well, they had a bag. When I went into the store, they either had a bag or you buy them singly. I always buy them singly, especially when I'm out in the van. I do that. But the thing about that is that when you do that, you don't have to worry about things going bad. Plus, I shop every single day, almost every meal. People say, well, why do you do that? I said, well, I mean, what else you got to do? You might as well. It's just something to do out there, you know. So, get out there and might as well enjoy your free time. Get a little extra air conditioning time is what I call it. How do you like your steak, Warren? Well, that's a pretty thick steak there, dude. He's going to be eating for a couple hours on this. I know I would. Yeah, I think the biggest thing about men's mental health that they struggle with nowadays, and it's always has been pretty much, was the, what is that, PTSD or something? Post-traumatic stress syndrome, I think is what it's called. And a lot of that is just where a man that's forced to be the hero or forced to be the, the provider, all said and doing his best, being the warrior that he thinks that he is, thinks that he's designed to be, which he's doing his male duty. But what happens is things happen on that, and he finds himself in a tremendous fear sometimes, and it could just be either seeing something, experiencing something, but it could be just as simple as having the fear in his heart that he can't pay the mortgage this month and has no idea what he can do about the future, because he's also got his layoff papers and now lost his job. Especially when a man is up in his years, 40, 50, 60 years old, for a man to be put in that kind of position in life, that could become very scary, because he's already seen half of his friends around him go through basically the same thing and end up going through their entire life savings and still never be able to recuperate or to be able to get back hired again. Well, hopefully the economy is turned around and the jobs are being so plentiful now. Yeah, my prayer is that at least people will be able to get back to work, because that takes a lot of stress off of a lot of people. It's all about women these days in the world. You know, it's all, you know, they're coming to school with educations. They're getting upper paying jobs better. Has it turned to be the best? No, I don't think it could be. But I think it's coming around. It's becoming fair, I guess you could say. But I have a lot of people that talk to me and call me pretty much on a daily basis. I mean, you know, the struggles that I'm just right now explaining to you. But I see that I've watched them fight and go through. I mean, it's a shame when you have an MBA or even a 4-year degree, and all you can get and qualify for is to either unpack Walmart trucks or flip burgers at Burger King. It's a shame that, you know, that your mind has to go through that. So we're trying to find spots to cook on here. So what we're doing, we've got a wood project that we're trying to do right now. This is the deck for a boat that we're cooking on, and we're in the process of blowing it around. Here's my steak. So down in the comments, encourage one another to start having conversations, even sharing your experiences, so others can see the difficulties that's actually out there. The only way we're going to ever put a stop to this for the men is to be able to teach them that it's okay. It's okay to cry if you have to. It's okay to speak out if you have to. It's okay to admit that you failed if you have to. You know, the way that we've been brought up was with this so-called warrior mind. And back in the day, these were all big no-nos to make men, quote, tough. But I'm not saying to not take the toughness out of men. I mean, boys need to be boys. You know, they need to have the experiences of you know, rough times, roughness. You know, that's what toughens them up. But they've also got to understand that, you know, life isn't all roses. And when you do have these hard times, it's okay. It's okay to talk about them. It's okay to, to share with others and to have someone that you can bounce ideals and concerns off of. So find yourself another male friend that's willing to talk to you about this, that'll spend time with you, genuine time with you, without judgment. And a lot of people, unfortunately, the way men are, you know, when they hear troubles or need advice, a man's ideal of working this kind of, you know, they want to be a fixer, I call it. And that's one thing that we've missed the boat with when we're having relationships with our wives and our girlfriends, and that's what they've always complained about, was that all they want someone to do is just listen. And sometimes listening is the best thing that you could possibly ever do. Sometimes that's the best advice that you can always give. It's almost like a good book. When you have a good book, it's not how many pages are in that book that makes it good. What makes a good book is that you were able to tell the story completely. So take your time to write that book, or to say what you need to say, to where you get the point across. And then also, if it's really bad and he can't help you, your friend, then reach out. There's professionals out there. There's things out there to help you. So by all means, reach out for real counseling. You know, there's lots of people out there that will counsel with you, that have degrees and understand, you know, what you're going through, and have done studies on what you've been through. I mean, just look at myself. That's sort of what I do, but I consider myself just a coach. I'm not a degreed. I have no degree. I have no way of proving who I am. The only thing that makes me who I am, and what makes me able to help others, is that I have hard knocks and wounds. I've lived through what they've lived through, and I give them my knowledge, and I'm basically telling them not to do what I do. And that tends to always seem to come along with them and help them. So do what you can. But the biggest thing I could say to us is also look after our young boys, because our young men out there are struggling just the same, and they're actually lost now because of the way society and they've been trained. We've actually done them even more injustice than we have, and that's allowing them to isolate themselves with their games. And I mean, by all means, they don't even have a way to be able to communicate. They don't even have the communication skills. So to find good quality jobs and things are very difficult for them. A lot of them struggle with, you know, the fear of going into a place and actually working for someone and being around other people. So we need to really, really get a hold of this. If not, we're going to lose it. We don't have a whole other generation to let it go by. We need to back up and take our generations and stand up for the mistakes that we've made, and come up with a solution now for them and their future. The women sort of given up on the men. You know, they're now competing with them, you know, with the boys and the men. So they're not ones to give them that nurture that they used to. Not as much or not as often as they really deserve and they need. So by all means, feel free to discuss this with even your partners. And if you're married and you have a woman that does care, have a chat with her and get some of the ideals off of her even on how you can reach these boys. Because we're definitely in the dire need right now of these boys losing faith and losing their way. But the biggest thing that I can say about it is, you know, what I found that really helps the most, I'm a warrior. Believe me, I'll go anywhere, everywhere, in the deepest, darkest crevices of this earth to find someone that's lost. I'll give the shirt off my back for anybody that's in need. But I tell you one thing that really is discouraging, is when you find that no one else cares as much as you do. And that's the sad part. And it's actually a part that drives you away from human beings particularly. And I think that's what happens with a lot of men. They try to step out and they try to do this, but then what happens, they find out that no one even cares. So what I'm trying to say is that we do need to care. We need to care about each other. Because remember, when you're in a war, you got to stand back to back to be able to protect each other. You got to look in the back and watch your brother's back, because when the enemy strikes, he can strike at any angle. So we need eyes at every angle. And if you need a platform to be able to do so, do just like what we are here. Invite them out to a steak cook-off. And each of you show each other your techniques and your ideals of how to build the correct and the right steak. Anything you can add to any of that, Warren?
Nope, you're right. It's not fun to be alone.
It's not. There's so many people in this world that die alone, and they don't have to. And as we go older, even though our bodies and our mind says our body can do something, we find out that our bodies can't. And the biggest thing is eventually you find yourself sitting at home with no friends and you're forgotten. Or you go to the mall and people pass you by and they don't even realize that you're even there anymore. It's like you've been given up on. So it's it's very critical. And if there is women out there that do care about their men, by all means, do everything you can to look after them. And if they need help, be the one that stands up and calls for help for them. Especially you young boys. Teach them the right ways of the world. Because our men is our future. So I think our steaks and potatoes are just about done. This is Tuesday after the Black Friday and the Cyber Monday, and now today is Tuesday, the Giving Day?
Yeah.
So Tuesday is the day that people give to their charities and their ministries and things, and it's supposed to be a big thing. So I invite you to consider taking on my ministry as one of your charities and helping us along the way as well, so we can go out and reach and send more of these type of videos to you and go out on the road and to rescue the ones that are lost in the dark woods. And if you care to, you can always you can hit me up with going through PayPal, and you can send that to the prayer van. Just put in prayer van, it should find me. If not, it's James Daniel at my email address, and all this information is always in down in the description. So while you're looking at the description, go on and subscribe, and also like this video. Share it with all your friends, encourage them to watch it, because the more videos I can get to start getting a lot of views, the better that my AdSense will pay. And it would really be nice to have some kind of a continuous income to be able to help with that gas, something that I can depend on. That way I can know exactly how far I can go in a month, and how far I can travel, and everything else. My health is failing, so I'm unable to do the kind of work that I used to do, and I've been noticing I'm having to turn down more and more of those kinds of jobs because I'm physically unable to do just that. So please, if there's any way that you can help me along now, it would greatly appreciate it, to help me as well. So always consider that if you can. Well, I think we're done here with the steaks. I think I got my message across. But yes, in the description down in the comment section, be sure to leave a comment for me, and hopefully we can enjoy what else is going on. See, as we look over here, our buddy Warren's already got our plates all set up and everything's ready, so we're ready to eat. So God bless each one of you, and have a great day.